Hey guys, Jacob Scott, Lowrance product expert. Today what I'm going to show you how to do is use Google Earth on your computer to get on a lake and find some waypoints before you get out there. Then we're going to convert them to a GPX format. We're going to load them on the HDS unit, and then you can get on the water and fish them. Now that we've got Google Earth opened, I'm going to zoom in on, we'll pick a lake down here. Let's go ahead and select Sam Rayburn. Let me find it real quick. Okay, so now that we've found the lake we're going to use, there's some really great features on Google Earth that help you find areas that you want to fish. So one of those is going to be the historical timeline. So if you come up here and you click this little guy, you can see it gives us a timeline right here. And right now we're in 2017. We can click back here in 2012. You can see these islands that you didn't previously see. We'll zoom in a little closer on those because this is where we're going to focus. So again, I go here to 2015. The water's up. 2012, the water's way down. Let's go back here a little bit further, say to about 2009. Okay, I really like this view from 2009 because what it does is I can see that these islands are covered in water, so I know that I've got water around them that I should be able to float a boat in. So I'm going to kind of use this to pick my edges. Again, if I wanted to, I could come in here to 2012. You can see they're completely above water. So it's a really great feature for being able to find spots that you want to fish later on. You know, because once this water body is full, you're not going to see this little island out here, this little hump that these fish are going to be attracted to, and they're going to hang around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click My Places over here. I'm going to right click it, and I want to add a folder, and I'm going to call it Sam Rayburn. I'm going to say OK. So now you can see I've got my Sam Rayburn folder here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding waypoints of areas that I want to fish. So I click this, I get the little thumbtack. If you don't like the thumbtack, you can change it to any of these symbols that they have. I kind of like these little place pins like this, so that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to say OK. It still is an untitled place, so I'm going to zoom in here a little bit closer, and I'm going to drop it right here. And you can name it whatever you want. So if you have features, you know, codes that you use to make you understand it better. So in the name, I'm going to call it SRB. Get in here, backspace this. So I know it's Sam Rayburn. And then I'm going to do UWI-1. So that, for me, that's Underwater Island. And that's the first one that I've set. So now I'm going to say OK here. So now I've got this edge of it marked. If I want to place another one, I'm going to grab it. And again, I'm just going to name it. W2. So that's marked there. Now the one thing that I really like is I like these outer edges that are feathering out into the water. So again, I'm going to drop some pins on these points. UW. Okay, so I've kind of stopped right there. I'm just going to highlight all that and Control C and copy that. So every time I go in here, I don't have to do that. All I'll have to do is I'll just do a shift insert, drop that part in there, and then I'll add whatever number I need to after it. So this is going to be spot number 3. So, so those are the, if I look at this side of the island, I zoom in a little bit more, I can see what looks like some underwater brush and stuff that maybe has grown up when the water was really down. And so I like those. So again, I'm going to add a place pin. I'm going to do a shift insert. So it says URB dash, I'm on 4. So I'm going to go ahead and 4. And then I'm going to tell myself brush because there's some brush there. So that lets me know that I've got some features, that there's going to be some bait fish and some smaller fish hanging in, which obviously means I'm going to have some predator fish hanging around that also. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this edge of the island. And number 5. So there's 5 waypoints that I made really quick. Now, again, if you're going out to fish a lake for a tournament or something like that, you can spend several days poring over all of these images from Google Earth, and you can make 1,000 waypoints. I'm just going to do 5 because you guys don't really want to watch me make 1,000 waypoints for this. So as you can see, my Sam Rayburn folder, that's where they're at. So now that they're in that Sam Rayburn folder, what we're going to do is I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say Save Place As. So now I've got a folder in my Documents folder called My Waypoints. This is where I build my waypoints and I save them when I do this. Some guys will just drop them on their desktop, so wherever you want to save them, just make a folder so that you know where they're at. Again, mine are going into My Waypoints, and I'm saving it as a KMZ file. Now that I've saved that KMZ file, we'll go ahead and log on to the site that I normally use for this. There's several different sites that you can use to convert them. I use gpsvisualizer.com. It's a free program to use. So it asks right here, this is the home page. It says upload a GPS file. No files chosen, so I'm going to select choose a file. And since I know where I've stored those, I'm going to go to my documents. Then I'm going to go to My Waypoints. And then here's my Sam Rayburn KMZ. So I'm going to open that file. And then it says choose an output format. So you hit the drop down here. And if you select a GPX file, it's going to convert it to a GPX file, which we can automatically import into our units. So now I'm going to say convert it. And as you see, it tells me my data has been converted to a GPX. Now to download it, it says click right here to download. So I'm going to click this link. As you can see right here in Google Chrome, it's given me a link to it. So I'll go ahead and, I don't want to click on it and open it. That's just telling me that it's done. I'm going to come over here to show all. And it shows me this file here. I want to show it in the folder. So one thing I typically do when I convert one of these is before I move it, I'm going to go ahead and change the name to Sam Rayburn.gpx file so that I know what that file is. So it's moved it down here. I'm going to click on it with the right mouse button, and I'm going to say copy. So one thing I like to do with these is I'm going to go ahead and bring it back over here. Go back to My Waypoints. And I am going to paste my GPX file into this folder. That way I know where my GPX file is when I go to grab it when I'm going to go out to Sam Rayburn. So now that we've got this GPX file converted, I'm going to show you how to put it on a micro SD card and put it in your unit. Okay, so I got my micro SD card and I've got it in an adapter to a regular SD card. My computer has a reader on it, so I'm going to put it in there. Some computers may not have a reader on it, so what you'll have to do is use an adapter to put it on there. So there's several different adapters you can use, so whichever adapter you like, use that. So I'm going to go to my Sam Rayburn, I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to say copy, and then right here I can see my micro SD card. I'm going to open this up, and I'm just going to come to a spot down here in the card. I'm going to right click out here, I'm going to say paste. So you can see right here at the bottom on my card it says my Sam Rayburn GPX. Now that I've got that on the card, I'm going to go ahead and pull this card out. I'm going to take my micro adapter out, and we're going to swap over and put it in the HDS unit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my micro SD. I'm going to put it in the card slot on the unit. Let's look at the waypoint list on this unit. You can see there's a lot of waypoints already on this unit. So I'm going to go ahead and say delete all of these. Now that I've deleted those, whenever you delete a waypoint, one thing you should always do is clear them out of the unit. So we do that by going to Files, and I select my Waypoint Routes and Trails database. It can shows you I've got 4,795 waypoints that I just deleted. They've been deleted, so now what we want to do is we want to purge the unit. So now that I've purged the unit, those waypoints are no longer on here. They're no longer taking up memory. As you can see under waypoints, I have 0. Now I'm going to go to my memory card. See here, the Sam Rayburn GPX file. I'm going to touch that, and I'm going to tell the unit I want to import those. Ask me if I'm sure. I tell it yes. It says it's complete, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. So now, under my waypoint file, you can see we have the Sam Rayburn Underwater Island 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those waypoints are showing up. So let's go ahead and we can look at the chart. We can either scroll over to it, or an easier way to get to it is we'll go ahead and touch waypoints. I'm going to touch the underwater brush. It gives me the coordinates of it, and I tell it I want it to show that. So now it's going to pop up on the screen. We can see Sam Rayburn here. I'm going to zoom in. You see this looks like a good spot to fish. All of these arrows are flooded timber. So now if you look, you can see these contour lines that kind of show where this island is. And because I was able to pinpoint those spots that I wanted to target directly on Google Earth, my waypoints are directly where I want to be fishing.